Spatial development concerns us all. We all want a good home. Because the economy is growing in Switzerland, more and more people are living here. By 2050, 10.5 million people are expected to live here, which is almost 2 million more than today. By comparison, almost that many currently live in the canton of Zurich. Finding a place to live is becoming increasingly difficult, especially in cities with many work and leisure opportunities. There is too little housing there and less affordable housing, because not enough housing can be built because planning prevents this. It is easier to find a home further away from the city. But how do you get from there to your workplace, which is further and further away, or to the restaurant and to the shops? That's not really a problem by bus or train, as long as the service is good. Nevertheless, many take the car, because it's often faster and more convenient. Over the last 60 years or so, this development has led to the so-called Häuslichkeits. It is clearly visible in the countless single-family home neighbourhoods that consume a lot of space for just a few people, and they also require many additional roads. The consequences: increasing urban sprawl, overcrowded trains, and more roads full of traffic jams. The problems have been known for a long time. That's why the Spatial Planning Act was enacted in 1980 in such a way that housing and jobs in Switzerland should no longer be created uncontrolled and everywhere. Instead, housing and jobs should be built where they contribute to sustainable spatial development, namely in central locations. This also keeps the valuable landscape intact, as required by the Spatial Planning Act. However, this is not, or only partially, enforced by many municipalities. And, according to statistics, green spaces the size of 8 football pitches are still being built over every day. A concept that helps the cantons and municipalities to enforce the Spatial Planning Act already exists and is called 10-minute neighbourhoods. 10-minute neighbourhoods have a radius of 500 metres and have a lot of what one needs for daily life. Most services can be reached on foot in 10 minutes or by bike in even less time. Whether a place or a neighbourhood is suitable for a 10-minute neighbourhood must be examined and demanded. After all, Switzerland has many problems related to poor enforcement of spatial planning. Housing shortage, rising real estate prices, urban sprawl, too much traffic and excessive greenhouse gas emissions. That is why we must demand that our living space grows where many people work and spend their leisure time, thus enabling short distances in everyday life. This is not only a matter for politicians, authorities or planners. We can all get involved in the participatory procedures for guideline and land use planning and demand these urgently needed changes. Every contribution counts. More information is available at www.10-minute-neighbourhoods.ch.